If your dog's constantly itching or dealing with ear infections or inflamed skin, there's a good chance their food is part of the problem. And one of the most overlooked ingredients is highly processed fats like canola oil. In this video, I'm going to be breaking down canola oil in dog food. I'll share information about why fats are such an important part of your dog's nutrition and what percentages of fat in their food is appropriate for each life stage. I'll be talking about problems with canola oil, from why it's used to begin with and how it's produced, to omega-3 and omega-6 imbalance and how that's processed in your dog's body. Finally, I'll give you guidance on how to read food labels and identify food and treats with good fats. And spoiler alert, at the end, I'll provide you with 2 great resources you can begin using right away. So before diving into the full canola oil breakdown, I do want to highlight how vitally important that fats are in our dog's diet and what the recommended percentages are for fats in your dog's food by life stage. First, fat provides an excellent energy density, 2 times more than proteins or carbs. There are sources of omega-3 and omega-6, which is great for skin and coat health, and they're required to carry vitamins like A, D, E, and K into the bloodstream. They also help build the dermal layer and protect against free radicals. And according to the AAFCO, recommended fat levels by life stage in your dogs are as follows. For the growth and reproductive life stage, the standard for fat requirements is 8.5%. For the adult life stage, the standard for fat requirements is 5.5%. Please do keep an eye on total calories in dog post-neuter or spay, because after spay or neuter, a dog's metabolism and energy needs typically decrease by about 20 to 30%, while appetite often increases. Now, breaking down canola oil. Let's start with why pet food companies use canola oil in the first place. It's not random. It solves a few big problems for them, not for you or your dog. Pet food companies use canola oil because number one, it's cheap. It leads to longer shelf life, and it helps them meet the AAFCO fat level requirements. So from a formulation standpoint, canola oil works, but here's the catch. It's designed to meet minimum nutritional requirements, not create optimal health for your dog. Another piece most people don't think about is that canola oil is highly processed. Industry sources like pet food industry describe how these oils are refined, heat treated, and deodorized before they even end up in the food. And polyunsaturated fats like canola oil are prone to oxidation. So in pet food and nutrition in general, oxidation is the primary cause of rancidity. It occurs when oxygen reacts with fats and oils, and it produces free radicals and degrades the food's nutritional value, color, freshness, odor, which means over time they can contribute to cellular stress and inflammation. Again, not immediately harmful, but not exactly helping your dog thrive either. The imbalance of omega-3 and omega-6 that canola oil creates is a real problem. This is where things begin to really matter. Your dog needs both omega-3 and omega-6 fats, and the ratio between them is critical. According to veterinary resources like PetMD, the balance between these fats plays a major role in inflammation and overall health. Omega-6 fats tend to be inflammatory, where omega-3 is anti-inflammatory, hence the importance of the balance. And most commercial dog foods already lean heavily towards omega-6, and when you add oils like canola oil on top of that, you can push your dog further into an inflammatory state. That's when you start seeing things like chronic itching, skin issues, allergies, joint discomfort. Not just because one ingredient is toxic, but because the balance is off and it compounds over time. But canola oil has omega-3s, you might hear people say. Technically true, but here's what's missing. Canola oil contains ALA, which is a plant-based omega-3. It's poorly converted in dogs to the usable forms EPA and DHA. So while it looks good on a label, canola is not doing much for your dog biologically. Omega-3s that do make a difference are whitefish, salmon oils, sardine, and krill oil, for example. Here's where you can take action and identify foods containing healthier fats for your dog. And I've created this infographic as a helpful guide. Basically, it breaks down into 3 major do's and don'ts. Number 1, Do prioritize clearly named whole animal proteins, preferably novel proteins. Dogs can develop allergies or intolerances to proteins they eat frequently, or if they are offspring of a line that has been overfed a certain protein. A protein is only novel for your specific dog if they've eaten chicken or beef their entire life. Then duck could be a novel protein for them. This is also why I recommend that parents rotate proteins. I personally rotate between single source proteins like turkey, duck, venison, pork, salmon, and bison. And I always go with single source proteins because if an intolerance arises, I have a very good idea what the culprit is. And then avoid vague, heavily processed, or plant boosted protein sources. Number 2, choose low starch, whole food vegetables and avoid high starch fillers and refined carb sources. Dogs can meet energy needs from protein and fat alone. However, the nutrient-dense carbohydrates listed in this infographic deliver key vitamins, minerals, and antioxidants dogs need to maintain optimal health. Make sure to feed foods containing root vegetables in moderation. Why? 2 reasons. 1, for the glycemic load. It's higher in these carbohydrates, which can put a strain on the pancreas over time and lead to diabetes in some dogs. 2, unlike humans who have enzymes in our mouths that start the digestion process, dogs do not. Their digestion begins in the stomach. This means that any undigested residual starches that remain in their mouth can remain on their teeth and promote plaque growth and stinky breath. Number 3, focus on named animal fats and omega-3 rich sources. Avoid industrial seed oils and vague fat ingredients. This infographic is also available for download in the video description. As you use this guide, please remember that the AAFCO sets minimum standards to prevent deficiency. It does not set standards for optimal health targets. That's why 2 foods can both be listed as complete and balanced, yet have different ingredient quality entirely. So here's the bottom line. When organizations like AAFCO consider oils like canola oil safe and acceptable in dog foods, that's technically true, but safety and deficiency prevention is a pretty low bar. So if you're already noticing itching or scratching or inflamed skin, or you just want to spare your dog that discomfort, it might be time to revisit whether your dog's food contains canola oil. Whew, okay, deep breath. We covered a lot. So to recap, we broke down canola oil and examined whether it's actually healthy for your dog. We talked about why fats are so important in your pet's diet, and I showed you some guidelines around the recommended percentages that are based on life stage. We talked about why canola oil is used in so many dog foods and how it technically meets baseline standards, but can come with more risks than the rewards of just meeting those standards. We also walked through the do's and don'ts of selecting food and treats across proteins, carbohydrates, and fats. And I created a downloadable guide, which you can access in the video description. And finally, here's a spoiler I was talking about earlier. Before I became a full-time pet nutrition coach and worked a corporate job, I had very little time to spend hours poring over dog food ingredient labels. And I'll bet a lot of you watching this video are in the same boat. So I've done the research and label reading for you. And I put together a curated collection of cleaner fat foods for healthier dogs to make for easy peasy dog food shopping. You can find this link in the video description as well. If this video helped you, please subscribe because we're going to keep breaking down dog food ingredients one by one and decoding some of the most common signals your pet's health is sending you that simple tweaks in diet can solve for. Because all pets deserve to thrive naturally.